Well, you're getting set up. You have a domain name and an ISP, and you're ready to start loading files up onto your website. But how? The tool we discuss in this video, FileZilla, is one excellent way to do it. This is the time to look at working with FileZilla. If you choose to use a different product, the concepts will be the same. First, we need to download the program, so we go to the FileZilla site, which is filezilla-project.org. Should look something like this, and you download the FileZilla client. Click on that. It will come back. It's detected which version of Windows you have. Again, click on Download the Client. Now, here you have a choice. You just want the plain free FileZilla, so you download that. Now, a pop-up dialog. You want to open this. Would you like to save the file? Yes, you want to save the file. Now, in my situation, I've set the browser up to prompt where you want to save files. You may have set it up so that it automatically goes to a downloads directory or folder. So I'm going to go to this PC and put it in my downloads. And you'll notice up here for Firefox, there's a little logo that displays the progress, and there, it's already downloaded. So now you can install it by clicking on this, or if it's not in this directory or you're using a different browser, you go to the directory where it was downloaded. A single click starts it, and you get prompted if you want to allow this to make changes. You say yes. And then it has the traditional license agreement and privacy policy, and you agree, and it moves on ahead. This will only take a brief moment, haha. Okay, it's already installed, and so now I'm going to cancel this install. So you see the process. It's just that I didn't want to install it over the current version. So then we go to tailor the FileZilla product, and we'll look at that next. But first, we need to talk a little bit about how websites are structured. When your ISP sets up your domain name, it will reserve space on some server disk drives and create a set of directories that have various technical uses, but the one you care about is named public_HTML. This is where you will put the pages for your website. For illustration purposes, let's suppose your domain name is romaindomain.com. Then your ISP sets aside some disk space on its servers and creates these supporting directories, including public_HTML. When someone tries to go to http://romaindomain.com, the domain name servers where your domain name is registered will take them to the IP address for the server and the public HTML directory. So, you have your site set up. On your computer, you might set up a directory named, say, Romain Domain Web, and build your files in there. You can create your own structure of subdirectories and sub-subdirectories to meet your own needs for organizing your files. You might have a separate directory for audio files, or pictures, or style sheets, or you might have a separate directory for each user on your site, and so on. When you upload files from your directory, Romain Domain Web, they need to go to your public HTML directory in romaindomain.com. If you upload a subdirectory, say user1, from Romain Domain Web, it and all its files and sub-subdirectories will be uploaded into a subdirectory of the same name. So then your website will have, in our example, the directory public_HTML/user1. If someone links to www.romaindomain.com/user1/info.html, they will retrieve the actual file public HTML/user1/info HTML. Note that you can upload directories that are not under your web files home directory. In fact, one good example of doing this sort of thing will be running our class labs. You don't want to put the lab files in the middle of your real business pages. So you can upload your directory, My Web Files, up to your public_HTML directory, and you will now have data in romaindomain.com/mywebfiles, and that is where you will test from. This will isolate class lab data from your real important web pages. Note that once you have a subdirectory established on your server under public HTML, you can upload individual files from your computer to your subdirectory. You don't have to, in fact don't want to, upload the whole directory again. Now it's time to see how to configure, set up FileZilla to do your bidding. First, we launch the app. Let's take a look at the screen. The left-hand side shows your local files, the ones on your PC, and it's divided into two subsections. There's the directory, the navigation pane, where you get to the directory you're after, and below that is the contents pane, which shows the files in the current directory. The right-hand side are for the remote files, the files on your server, and it's divided the same way. The top will be the navigation pane, and then the bottom will show you the contents of the current directory. Now we go up to File and select Site Manager, or Control-S, and say we want to start a new site. So we type in our name, Romain Domain. We need to specify the location, the IP address, or the name of the host, which I'll do, and change anonymous to normal, and specify the user ID and password that your ISP had to give you. You only have to do this once. So get that in and just say, okay, now you've got your site set up. Let's go there. So I go to that downward arrow and select my site, and over in the right now I see the root directory, the slash, and you have to scroll down a bit to find the public_HTML directory, but that's where we want to be, and that's where we're going to put our files. Notice there are some files already there. This is because of work I've previously done, but normally you'll start out with public HTML being empty. So let's upload some files to your server. The trick is in the right panel to navigate to your target directory, public HTML, and over in the left panel to navigate to your source. In this case, we're going to take My Web Files and upload them. Select it and right-click and select Upload. And the process begins. Notice down in the lower left corner that tells you how many files there are still in the queue. You can see how many have been processed, and in this little sub-panel it shows you the process, the progress of each file as it's loaded. And this will take a minute or two, and we'll just go for the whole ride. And there we have it. So now we take a look at the whole process doing testing and development in this environment. You start out, you want to code your HTML page, and we'll use our model index HTML from our lab files. So find it there, and there we go. Open it with our editor, Notepad in this case. And what I'll do is I'll put my name there where the underscores are. And then, of course, you want to remember to save the file, Control-S, so that updates it on disk. Then you want to upload it, so you go to FileZilla, and you find your source. Now this is sorted either by name or by last modified, and poke around. Eventually you'll locate the file that you just changed. And then, oh yeah, you want to make sure you have the target set up. So I go down to find my web files on the browser, on the server, and upload. Now the first time during a day that you make a change to an existing file, you get prompted if you want to do this. Say OK, and he'll remember that for the rest of the day. Files are uploaded. Now I go back to my browser. I need to refresh what's in the browser, and there's my home page. Now, if you find you need to make a change, you've had a mistake or you want to change the file, go back to your source and make your changes. And then once again, remember to save it, Control S, so that the version on disk is current, and then upload it from your disk to your server, and then refresh your browser to make sure you get the refreshed version. And you repeat this process until you have the file just the way you want it. Finally, at the end of the day, don't just shut the window down, but do this orderly. Go to Server and disconnect. Then you can close the window. When you bring up FileZilla again, then go to Server and reconnect, and he'll pick up where he was when you last left. And you can change your location from then on, but that's the process. In this lesson, we took a look at downloading FileZilla and the structure of websites, including the importance of public_HTML, and then setting up FileZilla and the process of testing and development. In the next lesson, we take a look at anchors and links. See you there.